Okay, present. Is my screen coming through okay for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the main topic for today is around SEO, AIO, and content, and how those, these three areas work together. Can someone let me know your understanding about SEO? What is SEO from your understanding?
Yeah, I can give a quick summary. I think it's a search engine optimization.
Mhm.
So it's like when you search on whatever browser you choose, how competitive are you ranked compared to all the other options there could be that fit the description of the search.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just sort of the ranking. It's trying to be more competitive compared to all the other browsers that would be suggested.
Yeah, perfect. That's right. So I think is exactly right. So SEO is the process of how you can help the search engines like Google, Bing, etc., to understand your content, to trust your content, and also to match your content with the right search intent as well. So when people search for a specific keywords or questions on search engine, how can you match your content with those people who search for those keywords, essentially? And if one of these fails, most of the time content might be, underperforms and not reach. It could be, either not reach the right audience, or it could be just not rank on the top of the search engine at all. And this one is not a short-term thing to do. It's a long-term investment, which require time and effort to write a lot of content, to optimize the pages and the content so that it can rank on the top of the search engines. And most of the time now that we have Google Ads and other ads as well, when you search for a specific services or products online, the top of the search engine results page is the ad. If the company running an ad will be the sponsor content will be the one who pop up on the main page first, and then it is when the SEO SEO optimized content or pages will rank afterwards. In terms of SEO, there are three main pillars. The first one is technical. So anything related to the technical structure or the build of the website. And then there is content, which is anything that is provide, unique, useful content to your users. And that is something related to on-page SEO. For example, what is the word, the keyword that you use, what is the visual that you use, etc. And authority, which is link building. It means that how is your website or your content get referred from other external resources. So for example, if you are a pen specialist and you write a specific content around that industry, and then your website is referenced or your content is referenced by another website, for example, a pen medicine journal, that is called external links. Yeah. So when your website get that referrals from other website, it just rank better because it can be seen as a credible and trustworthy source because it's referred by other websites. And for me, that is the three main pillars that we usually saw on, if you search for SEO on Google and other people usually refer SEO to be those three main pillars. But for me, I usually refer it to be, relevance, quality, and authority. So the relevance I would refer to is about what is that content that we write about. Is it relevant? Is it, relevant to the people search keywords? Is the headings relevant to them? And is the topic is in-depth enough for people to actually click and engage with your content? And I found that, the pages or the content that focuses on just one core topic consistently outperform pages trying to rank for many. So if you just focusing on, optimize your website or optimize your page on a specific topic, usually it will rank better compared to when you try to, write a lot of, topics around a lot of industries and etc. Second is quality. Is that content really useful to the user who read it? And that can be measured by engagement and by the time on the page. So if the user find it engaging, find it useful for them, they will keep reading, and that means the time they spend on the page will be higher, and you can track it via, Squarespace Analytics or Google Analytics. And obviously, the clear and well-structured content usually reduce the bounce rate, and bounce rate means that the higher bounce rate, the worse, because that means that people just click into your content. So for example, if they search on Google, they found your content, they click into it and they exit straight away. That is when the bounce rate going to increase, and we don't want it to be, the bounce rate is high. We want it to be as low as possible, because that means that people actually stay on the page and engage with it. And the third one is authority. Is that content, is that page be trusted? And that is built through consistent expertise, internal linking, which means, you have multiple call to action, multiple links to add the pages on your own website. Yeah. And then external validation as well, which means that do you have any references to other, trustworthy sources for your content? So sites or pages with topical consistent rank is often ranked faster than those who are publishing just, random content. Okay, so I usually like to, link different framework together. So when I do content as well, I link it to my, just my mentality of cold, warm, hot phases as well. That's something that we use for the sales funnel as well. And based on each of the stage, I will define what are the things that I need to focus on. So for content to be, rich, engage, and convert, we always need to start with how can that reach the right audience that we want, right? And that usually start with the cold phase. So those people in the cold phase, they are not aware of us yet. So how can we spark that awareness? How our content reach them? So from my experience, what I usually do is I try to understand them first. So we need to know who is our target audience. Before we write any content, we need to know who are we writing that content piece for. And by know who we are targeting, we will need to understand what is the search intent. So based on that customer persona, their motivation, their challenges, their pain points, etc., what are the things that they're gonna search on the search engine that we can help them with. And there's multiple way you can do this. What I usually do is so every month we will have a specific content theme, right? And then I will put that content theme into SEO keyword tool. And the tool I use is Answer the Public or Keyword Magic tool. I'm going to show you the Keyword Magic tool so that you can, and it's a free tool as well, so you can have a look into that. Anyone use Keyword Magic tool from Semrush before? Okay. It might ask me some questions here. I'm logging in by Campus Live browser, so it's not saved yet. skip trial. Okay, so now when you're logging into Semrush, you will encounter this page and they will ask you to key in the keywords that you want to research on. Let's say I want to research about, marketing internship. And then I will choose the results from Australia and then I search for it. In this page, you will see all of the keywords that is most search on, the search engines. And then you can see the volume, the intent that they want to, of their search. And then it's getting updates every month or every 3 weeks. And another thing that I usually do as well, apart from look at these keywords, is I will look at them by questions. Because I want to see the long tail keyword, the thing that people actually search when they want to look for the marketing internship, not just marketing internship, but what they want to know about it. And here you can see that there's a bunch of questions that come up. For example, how to get a marketing internship. This one is having like the highest search on search engine, or they will ask about, what do you do in the marketing internship? So these are the things that people care about when it comes to internship. And from these questions that people usually search, I will use that insight and then write and implement it in my content. For example, the how to get a marketing internship could be like a main blog title or blog topic that I will write about. Or what do you do in a marketing internship? That is something that I would write about as well. Or I will use these questions together within just one blog. And then I will break them into sections. Section 1 is how to get an internship. And then section 2, it could be if you have an internship already, what do you do in a marketing internship? Does it make sense to you so far? Yeah. Another tool you can use is answer the public as well, which is this one. Very similar to the keyword magic tool. You can search for the topic, the brand, and the product as well. And then it gives you all of the results that people, search for. Let's say I'll search for marketing internship here as well, perhaps. And then it will give me all of the top ideas for my blog that I want to write about under, I think, the question-based format. Yeah. Okay, and even AI prompts. So what are people actually searching on AI? And AI that is like, the most searchable, for example, best website to find marketing internship in Australia, top companies offering marketing internship for students in Australia. And these are the things that people search the most on AI, like ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. And that is how I can use this topic as my main blog post. Here are the top ideas that you can see. So search engine, shopping, social media, AI model, all of the things that you can write about. Yeah. Okay, so that is in terms of the understanding phase. And then I mentioned already about who is the audience, what is the search intent, and also the last thing in the understanding phase is that is our content AI ready? Because nowadays, people's search behaviors is leaning more towards into AI. A lot of people still use Google and other tools to search, but a lot of people, like younger people, like our generation, use AI a lot to search for things as well. So it's really important that our content is not only optimized for Google, but also optimized for AI. And that means that our content needs to be AI ready. And the few things that we can do that AI really love to crawl and summarize is that if the content have definitions, if it have comparisons between different things, for example, marketing internship in big corporate, or should I do marketing internship in a local smaller businesses? Should I do internship in a client side? Should I do internship in the agency side? Something comparable. I really love that. Or any step-by-step explanations. So if the topic is about how to get an internship, then what are the step 1, 2, 3? What are the steps that they can do? Aside from the thing that we should do, there's something that we should not do as well. For example, AI content could be very generic and we want to stay away from it. We want to stay away from assumption, any vectorization, any story first explanation without clarity. Now, I think this one we need to be very conscious about, because as part of our expert marketing system that we do for our clients, we do a lot of personal blog, right? Which is personal insights, personal story. It is really important part to form trust and to form credibility with our audience. However, we need to be ensure that those story is explained with clarity. It should be followed by examples, followed by and some evidence, some of the industry news, etc. that person observed in the industries, instead of just purely just story. Does that make sense? Okay. Before I move on, is there any questions for that? Okay. So now that we understand how we can reach the right audience, next is how can we engage with the right audience. So now that they already search for our content, click to our content already, now how can we keep them engaged and spend more time on the page? Because if you do the analytics, if you do a report, monthly report on content, and you just report on how many people actually reached by our content, is not enough. The client usually want to know that, oh, it's reached more people, that's nice, but did they engage with it? And so our content needs to be written in the way that it's keep them engaged. And a few things that I usually really focusing on is first the title. In SEO term, it's called like H1, heading 1. Is it relevant? Is it like hook, having a relevant hook that actually hook people into clicking into that content? And then next is the content structure, which is the H2, which is like the headings that you're going to put in the blog body. And as I mentioned before, I usually follow the pitch process. What is the tease? What is the problem? What is the solution? Why would they care about us, or why would they purchase our service? It doesn't have to be exactly the pitch process all the time. But whenever I write a specific blog or content, I will lean in on my brain. I will turn my brain on the pitch process so that it gives me a specific structure that I can follow to write my content. And it's really persuasive as well, because if your blog or your content drumming straight into your brand or what you offer is really salesy, it can come across as salesy, and people don't want to listen to it. People don't want to be sold to. They actually want to be listened. They want to be supported. So if your content start with a tease, start with understanding their problem, start with empathize with the thing that they have been experiencing or have been facing with, then it's form the trust and it's form the resonance that people will continue to reach your blog because they believe that it can solve their problem. Next thing is the natural keyword placement. This actually leaning more towards the SEO side of things as well, because at the start, like in the previous code phase, in the understanding phase, you have a list of the keywords that people are searching for that topic already. And now is how you can place those keywords into the blog copy. Yeah. It could be in, the text, normal paragraph. It could be in the title, or it could be in the headings as well. And then appealing visuals. So apart from text, a great blog, visual is really important. And for me, I usually use, multiple images or video as a way to break down different section of the blog. Because for me, personally, I don't want to read like the whole, like 1,000 words blog. It's just too much. It's just too wordy. So I use headings to break it down, and then you use visual to make it more appealing that people can follow the blog copy. And I use it as a way to tell the stories as well. So for example, if I write a story about how can I get an internship at Social Star, I would embed some of the images of me working at Social Star into a specific section where relevant, just to make it a bit more visualized and, it's tell the story better and people can relate to it better. And finally, page speed. So on the page, we could, as I mentioned before, we could add a lot of kind of visuals like images and videos. However, we need to be really careful on the selections of those as well. We don't want to overwhelm people with images or videos, and we don't want to overwhelm the search engine either. Because if we have too long video or too heavy documents on the page, it could slow down the page, which we don't want it to be. We want the page to be functioning fast enough so that it's loading well for people and it doesn't stop the experience. Yeah, that is something to pay attention to. Any questions so far? Okay. And within the warm phase, something that I find really, important during my workflow of creating content is this one, which is adding the name of the file into the Canva designs. And the structure I usually do is the company name, and then the person name, and then the name of the blog post. That way, when you save or download the graphics, because this one is the blog article, right? And then when you publish the blog, it's not only just the blog copy. It's come with the caption and it's come with this thumbnail, right? And if you want people to search for your content, or your content is, appear on people's search engine, it's not only the content. It could be the thumbnail as well. And that's why I name them as well. So when people search for this blog title, or if they search for the company name, or if they search for the founder name, the blog can be appear on the search engine. I'll give you the example. So let's say I search for Dr. Dan Bates. And then I go to the images search. And aside from his images, you can see that there's a lot of blog posts on LinkedIn that is appearing here. And the reason why is that, there's multiple factors. One is the title or the topic could be relatable to the user. The second thing is because this thumbnail that you see here is his name, by his name as well. I always put the company name, his name, and the blog post in the name of the file. So that is searchable. And by having those ready, if you continue to do that for years and years and years, it just makes your branding and your website much more credible. And you have like a pool of resources here already that people can, get from. Okay, next one, I think, which is the final stage. It is that, so after your content get reach and engage with people, how can you convert them? So one thing I usually do is I will add a call to action and link the blog with other pages on the website as well. One is to help them to convert. They could like submit the form. It could be one of the call to action. They could read another blog on the website, or they could read another page of the website. That way you navigate them into like a journey, and they spend more time on your website and they found more useful content, or they actually submit some of the action. Yeah. And also validation as well, as I mentioned before, external links. It could be, you referencing the blog with other credible sources, etc. All right, key takeaway. I know we have time, so I'll just do it quickly. So first, SEO helps the search engines to understand, trust, and match your content with the right audience. And that only happen when you really, research about your audience and understand them and know what are they really searching for. Strong SEO is built on relevance, quality, and authority. And then the third point is one page should focus on one clear topic to maximize the impact. Fourth, structure and clarity matter more than length. So if you write a blog, just focusing on the quality, the structure of the blog, rather than just write, a lot of words. Content must match the audience phase. Are they in the cold phase, warm phase, hot phase, wherever they are in the journey, we write our content to match with their needs and the thing that they care about. Engagement signals drive performance, not tricks. And AIO ensures your content is chosen, summarized, and reused. And finally, SEO, content, and AIO, they usually work as one system, not a separate task. So you need to understand how you can utilize multiple tactics in marketing, combine them together to maximize the impact and, best use of it. So after this training, before you publish any content, perhaps ask yourself, is your content clear about what it's about? Is the topic clear? If you read the blog title, is it really clear about what the blog copy is going to be about? Does it answer the real question that your target audience is asking? Would AI summarize your blog correctly? Because that is how you can get them to crawl your content, right? Does it guide the reader to the next step? So after any of your content or any blog post, is there any clear call to action for the next step? Are you going to navigate them to a new page? Are you going to ask them to submit a form? Are you going to ask them to contact you if they need any help? So if all of the answer is yes, then I think your content is likely doing its job. Yeah. Okay, I think that is everything today that I want to deliver. Do you have any feedback, any questions that I can help? Stop sharing. Okay, all good. If there's no question, we might end it here. Thank you for your participation and listening to me. Annie will send over the pack for you to review, and just make sure that you complete your personal development plan and weekly reflections before we are back on the 5th of Jan. So that way we can start straight away on Tuesday on how to build your portfolio, and we can get ready to do freelancing jobs. Alrighty, just a final reminder, this is the final week before our holidays, and I'll see you on the 6th of January.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
See ya.